Okay, here's a look at the E-mini S&P for Tuesday, April the 24th, 2012. So we had some levels once again going into today. We had today's high and the 7350 area as potential, with some support once again back down as low as 55. So as you can see in the overnight session, it dipped a little bit below that 64, but not by much. And it opened there by the time the regular trading hours had opened, even though the market had erased a good 50% plus of that gap area. And we were expecting it to move into there, possibly get rejected from it, but at least erase some of that gap area. And so when the market came down just prior to the regular trading hours opening, and had no follow through lower, and then turned around and had a nice little move higher, but did not erase the gap totally, getting to here obviously. So we have a remainder of the gap here, which of course has already been erased because of the right after the regular hours closed, we had a move up here by I guess mostly because of the Apple's earnings. So Apple had some pretty powerful earnings. So that that came off there. The 7350 down here. Here was the gap area remaining. So we've already gone through that. So it will be interesting to see if the market can actually go ahead and hold above that level, because if it can hold above 7350, then it's probably got some room to move, and could very well move up to the top of the previous two-day overlay, which is around 82. So there certainly is some potential in there should the market hold above there overnight, or maybe come back down in the overnight session, then work its way through it, perhaps early in the trading day tomorrow. One thing we do have to be aware of, however, is that we do have the FOMC news and press release tomorrow, and so the market will surely be focusing its attention on that. So we just want to be careful in that regard. So a market that it looks apparently that this gap is going to get erased, and the market could very well run higher up above 7350. That's sort of the number one scenario, at least at this stage of the game. So you can see it right here too. This is the overlay I'm referring to. In other words, the merging of these two value areas, because they did overlap. The top of that is approximately 82, and the bottom of it is approximately 75. And then we've got the gap, which is from here down to today's high. So in this area right in here, and then we want to get above 75, as that will bring us into a comfort level here, which the market could then retain, and as a result, very well could come back right up to here. As far as our software was concerned, looking at the market today, it was interesting because we had that good vertical move to start the day and a nice area of resistance here and support here. We did have some good trading opportunities with rejection off of the resistance barrier on the high. We had a good level 2 buying in here. The market did attempt on a level 2 selling in here, but it held, and then the market came back up. So all in all, the market was actually kind of behaving quite nicely, in that the support and the resistance were really working great today. Sorry, I got my colors a little bit mixed up there. It was only this was not a level 2 selling right in here. Sorry, this was only the level 2 that we had early in the day when the market had that really nice rally higher. But it did go back and forth. It was interesting that we had this good vertical move, came back a little more than halfway, went up and banged onto the door there of that resistance to see if it could actually get through, and of course it couldn't. And we had some good indications of that as the market kind of went back and forth there for several bars. We did get, I think right about in here, we did get a nice, a rejection. Let me just go clear that off. We did have a nice rejection here and here. We had one on the low as well, but then when it came in, we had a really nice selling level 2 right there. So we had the level 1 buying here. went up and found some good resistance up in here, even though we were in the in the green filter. The market was really looking like it was having a tough time getting up there and closing that gap. So it was a kind of trade that was with our intraday bias, but was against the filter. So what I usually do in a situation like that is I trade with a pretty tight stop and reduce the stop over time, and then most of the time it's sort of that touch and go between how much time do you really let transpire before you say, no, this trade isn't working. Well, when we've got a barrier like this up above and these nice two buying decelerations, by the time this selling level 2 came in, one of our trades is just a pullback on that, and you get a deceleration here. You would then expect to have a wave down, as we got with a really good selling, a bit of a bounce up on a retracement, and then continuation lower. So that's sort of a general rule of thumb in the option process. Took a little bit longer to transpire here, but just the same, it still had that nice follow through. We did have a nice level 2 selling right in here, and we did get follow through from that. But a key bar was right here. We had a level 3 selling right here. Had its high taken out immediately, which gave us a great long entry. As a matter of fact, right in here, as the market started to rally, we had buying decelerate, but its low did not get taken out. And then shortly thereafter, just in a couple of minutes, its high was taken out. And then lo and behold, we have a couple of level 2 buying bars in here. And as you can see, the market, kind of went back and forth a little bit, but on that little overlap period there, it tends to come down and test onto that, where these two level 2s overlapped. A little bit of back and forth, and then not surprisingly, a run right back up to our resistance area to finish the day. So it was a pretty readable market today, if you will, in the sense that the market was really gave us some, sort of classic. They're certainly off of the low there today, sort of one of those classic entries. Now I know taking that trade, the market had just changed from red to neutral. But then again, we want to take into consideration what we think the condition of the market is, and where some really good support and resistance was situated going into the day. And we knew that that 64 area, if it could hold above that, would flip over and from resistance to support. And it certainly did, and it showed us in real time during the day that this area right here, just below 64 within the daytime frame, told us as early as 20 minutes after 10 Eastern time in the morning that that was a potential support area. And that certainly coincided with our overview and look at the market on a little bit of a longer time frame basis. In other words, sort of keying in there on what our intraday auction was telling us. So, there's some pretty good trading opportunities tomorrow or today, and I think as far as tomorrow goes, we've kind of got more of the same. We just got to keep monitoring. I think that that 73.50 level to see if the market can actually hold above it. If not, it could very well come back down and find some support in this area, because I think right now it's trading around 74 or 75 in the after hours, and we'll just but be very careful, of course, tomorrow, because we've got the FOMC numbers released, and then of course we have Bernanke's press conference. So we're likely to get some pretty good volatility, so just be careful of that, and have a good trading day tomorrow. So that'll be it for today. Thanks for watching.